Jonny, welcome in. We're happy to have you here.
Thank you.
I know you're pretty busy, so I appreciate you making the time to come in today. But I want to start with something that's most important. I was at a rugby game the other day. I was looking all over for you, and you weren't even there. So how are you feeling? Are you missing the guys? Or?
Yeah, I'm missing it. I was probably there in the back crying somewhere, kind of with my box of tissues. But no, I'm definitely missing it. But they're doing great. I mean, I'm giving them my all and the support. So, but they're still killing it without me. So it's no loss to them, just a loss for me, I guess.
Are they giving you a hard time since you're not playing?
Yeah, some of them. I said the prayer on Friday before the Utah game, and they were like, "Oh, big shot, Mr. Football. He's forgotten his roots." So they're giving me a little bit of a hard time, but no, they understand, and it's all fun and games.
Perfect. Well, can you tell me a little bit about your transition from rugby to football?
Yeah, so first of all, rugby gave me the opportunity to come to BYU. I never really planned on attending college. It's kind of one of the lazy New Zealanders, just want to play rugby and live on the beach. But after my mission, I really felt strongly I should further my education, and one of my companions and a couple friends really suggested BYU and rugby. So I spoke with the coaches, and they were like, "Okay, come on over," and they helped me. And I just had a lot of success. I mean, rugby is something that comes naturally for me. It's like football and basketball to Americans. Like rugby is what we breathe and eat and dream about. So it came naturally for me, and I had a lot of success. And I guess football, they saw my abilities with kicking, and they said, "Hey, our punter just graduated. We need a new one. How about you come and try and walk on?" And so from there, I was like, okay, just picked up a football and really enjoyed just kicking and punting, and yeah, still really enjoy it, and I'm starting to get a bit of success in it, so it's been fun.
So right now, spring ball just ended, so what are you doing right now? Are you just kind of winding down again? Are you getting pumped for Arizona?
Oh yeah, so yeah, I think for me, it's hard to take any days off. I think I would like people to look at me and go, "Man, that guy works hard," and that's one thing that I think has given me the ability and my talent and blessings really is just my work ethic. I don't consider myself to be that naturally athletic or even that good, but I feel like I outwork a lot of people. So, but this season I'm starting to feel it. Like I kicked a lot and have kicked pretty much non-stop since football told me they wanted to kick, because I had to make up for so much lost time. And so I just kick non-stop, and now I just want to try and take about a month off, not kick a football, just work on technique, and then a month later when I'm feeling fresh again, really start building up for season and for fall camp.
So do you have a specific or off-season training regimen, or what are you doing right now?
So I don't really have anything, but Lee Johnson, he played in the NFL for like 18 or 20 years, and then he works up at the athletic administration. And he's offering me help, so I might get him to come down along with some of my other buddies who know a lot more about kicking and just help me work on technique, because that's really what it is. People, I guess, look at special teams, they go, "Oh man, they can't kick it through the post or they can't punt it far," but there's so much more that goes into it than that. And so I'm just trying to work on the technique so that I can just be like a robot. So when I go on the field, the coaches know the result that they're going to get and that I can deliver it.
And you're going into your senior year. It's a big year for you. How do you feel about that? And do you have any goals, or what are you planning on?
Oh yeah, I always have big goals. Yeah, shoot for the stars for sure. So I have some big goals. I definitely want to have goals though that not only help me personally but also help our team. And so I'm working on trying to make sure that we lead the country in net punting. So there's no returns on them. So I want big balls with a lot of hang time, good location, so that other teams can't return it. But if they do, I want to run down there and smash them, because that's kind of my personality, yeah.
So you have such an enthusiasm about punting. You don't see a lot of punters, or really anyone in general, who gets so excited about those fourth downs. So where did that come from?
I guess you got to market the brand yourself, but for me, with football especially, because I never played it. I mean, I've only played 12 games in my whole life, and those were all for BYU, so it's pretty surreal how blessed I've been, how fortunate I've been. But I think it just comes because it's so new to me, and I know when people say they played football all their life and they discover rugby and they go and play rugby, they love it. And it's just like me, I'm trying to find my position and my fit on the team, and it just so happens to be kicking a football and punting. So I just love it, and I think it's such a crucial part that goes not noticed as much as it should. So I'm trying to bring that noticeability to the punters so that they don't have to sit in the corner of the locker room anymore.
I love it. So what do you have to say to everyone, all the punter haters who are overlooking you guys?
We'll come out and try it, and I'm sure I'll kick your butt, yes.
I love it. So probably my favorite play of yours the fake punt.
Okay,
Incredible.
yeah.
So can you tell me what it was like going into that and what it was like getting that first down?
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I hope with the new coaching stuff, we just fake it all the time. I hope it's not a fake anymore. I hope it's just that when we actually kick it, it's a surprise, because I would love to run it. But yeah, so that game, if we just rewind a little bit, we actually had a blocked punt that they returned for a touchdown. It was just a bit of a kind of a system error. It just kind of, yeah, no one really did, you can't point the blame at someone, but it was just kind of the team. And so we spoke about that and we said, hey, how can we get them back? You know, they just did that to us. And the coaches told me, okay, if it's on, you're going to fake it. And every time they say if it's on, that's, in my mind, it's like, okay, it's definitely going to be on, even if it's not. And so they told me that, and of course I ran it and got a first down, and it was cool. But when we watched it on film, there was a wide gap if I just took it more to the outside. And because my knowledge of the game was just like, I was stressing out. I was like, man, I just need to get the first down. That's it. Otherwise, it's going to be off in my head, you know. So I just went for it. But I really could have maybe had the touchdown if I read the blocks right. Always room to improve. Yeah, even if I scored a touchdown, I could have improved my celebration. So always looking at ways to improve.
We're ready for next season, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so during the regular season, we heard about an experience you had at Utah State during the last regular game of the season. Can you tell me about that?
Okay. Yeah. So Utah State, first of all, was cold as heck. So it was freezing. So I was just trying to stand by the heater and stay warm. But the fans were pretty hostile up there, and as to be expected, you know, that's part of having the home field advantage. Everywhere you go, people are going to get at you, and if it gets in your head, then the fans actually help you win the game. So while I'm not all for like booing players and you know, talking to them directly, I think a home field advantage is so crucial. So the louder your fans can be, the better. And they were pretty loud, and they didn't like BYU, and they didn't like us, and they were letting us know. And so some of my teammates were getting really agitated by it, especially because Utah State started off strongly. I think they scored the first touchdown, and so they were all on us. And because they'd beaten us the last year, they were all on our backs. And so I heard some of the fans get on our players, and I saw some of our players react negatively. And I thought, man, I feel like I could have a positive reaction and see how the fans react. And either they could take it worse, or they could, you know, hear it and be quiet, you know. And so I just turned around to them and asked, hey, like, do you want anything to drink? And one of the fans was like, yeah, I want some Powerade. I was like, oh, I can give you some yellow snow, because there was some snow all around, and they just laughed about it. But afterwards, I was like, hey, did you want a Powerade? They're like, yeah, blue Powerade. And it just so happened to be when we went in the locker room at halftime, they always have Powerades for us, and it was a blue Powerade. I think it's because it's BYU, everything has to be blue. And so I took it out in my little hand warmer and I gave it to him. I didn't hear a word from him the rest of the game. And then, of course, we started winning and they left early. And so it kind of impacted the home crowd positively for us. So it was
You're
pretty
always
cool.
about that positivity.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sneaky tactics, yeah.
Well, here's the question that everyone is dying to know. New coaching staff. How is it? How are you guys adjusting? Do you like it?
Yeah, no, I love it. I really enjoy the new coaching staff. They're so personable. I think they speak a lot more to I guess the students and just people in general. It's more of a breath of fresh air. When people ask me that, there's no right way to coaching. You know, people can have different methods and it can get the same result. But I like Kalani and the new coaching staff's more personable approach, and they know they have a lot to prove with the schedule that we have. They know that they need all the help they can get, and I think that's why you see them at so many sporting events, just getting in the midst of it, because they know that for us to win, we're going to need our fans bumping when the time comes.
So what can we expect for the next season?
A lot of energy, but also a lot of physicality. I think these new coaches they said to us in team meeting yesterday, they said they're always going to underrate BYU. They're always going to point the finger and say, oh, it's just BYU. We want to get that mindset out, and we're going to go punch people in the mouth. Not literally, but yeah, exactly, yeah. But with the way that we play the game, so hopefully we can do that, and I think we will.
So you're going into your senior year, big year, like we were talking about. So after that last game, what's next for Jonny Linehan?
I don't know. I kind of take every day as it comes. You know, I'm lucky if I get out of bed in the morning. I feel that old, but I really feel I have the talent to continue doing it at the next level. But like I said before, it's really just consistency, working on my technique so that every time it's the same result. Last year I was a little bit streaky. I still had a pretty good year considering the circumstances, like my first season. but I know I can be so much better, and I know I have the talent. So for me, it's really just mental games. So I'm going to try and go into this season, work with our mental strength coach, and just get better mentally so that when on the field I can prove it. And then if the NFL wants to give me a shot, then I'll be more than willing to go there. Otherwise, I'm graduating in finance this April, a year from this April, and so I'm sure I'll get a great job. I'm still not really sure what I want to do in that field. Like I said, I kind of take it as it comes, but I really think I'll be blessed and I'll be set up for the rest of my life. Do
you think at the end of the day, was BYU worth it? I know this university means so much to you. I know you're a player, but you're also one of BYU's biggest fans. So what's your experience been like at BYU?
Oh, BYU's been awesome. Seriously, such a life changer. I think when I think about how lucky I am to be at BYU, I really think I've been too blessed, too fortunate. I could think of so many other people that would be, more fitting to have this opportunity that I have, but I'm just so blessed, and I give all the thanks to the Heavenly Father and to my family and friends for encouraging me and pushing me to be here. But to be honest, it's been a dream. I've been here for 3 years, and each day has been like a dream, and I'm just so blessed to be here. And I think that's why I'm a big fan, is because I don't feel like I'm an athlete. I don't feel like people look up to me. I feel like I look up to other people. And so I'm just a huge fan of BYU sports, and everything I do, I bleed blue and want BYU to succeed.
All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. Who's the better athlete, you or your wife?
Oh, yeah, no, she would say me, but definitely my wife. She's so much better than me at everything. I mean, she played soccer here for 5 years, and started almost 4 of them, I think. But I loved watching her play, and she'll beat me in basketball when we have shooting competitions, and I'm sure she probably even kick better than me. I think I just have the advantage because I have a stronger leg, but yeah, she's incredible.
So what about, you have a little predicament for your future kids. Are they going to play football, rugby, soccer? Are you going to throw some tennis in there? Or what do you got for them?
I mean, to be honest, I think basketball is the greatest sport in the world because you play indoors. If it's raining or snowing outside, it's still warm inside. You just put the ball in the ring. I love basketball, and so does my wife. So there's a no-brainer they'll play basketball. But I also love physical sports, and so I want them to be able to tackle like a rugby player and know how to pass and play rugby and know the rules. But I think if we stay in America like we're planning on, then football is probably the best opportunity for them, and in terms of succeeding and getting school paid for, because I want them to have to work for their goals, and of course I'll be there to support them. But my wife and I have spoken about it. We want them to just be amazing athletes at everything,
all around.
And that's kind of our dream. I mean, if they stink at school, as long as they can play ball, So probably not the best coaching point, but
it's okay. Nothing wrong with that, right? So let's go to one of your happiest moments. The Vegas Bowl. You won the dance-off competition.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to put you on the spot again. Do you think you would have won if Jamal Williams had been there?
Oh, no, I don't know how I won. I think the girls that were judging, I think I sweet-talked them. Yeah, they were, I don't know what they were dressed up as. They were kind of crazy with their hair and stuff, but I knew if I was to win anything, I'd have to talk my way into the judge's head, and I think they fell for the accent trick. So we'll see, because I can't even watch the film on that dance because it was so horrendous, and I think Travis was robbed. But no, Jamal's an amazing dancer, and he's teaching me a few tricks in the locker room, so maybe it'll be me and him this year at the bowl game, so who knows.
So we're going to see some celebration dances between you two?
I think so, yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we were tweeting out some questions to people, and fans want to know, we heard about an April Fool's, a little something that went on there, so can you tell us about that?
Okay, yeah, so my wife is the queen of April Fool's. She knows all the tricks, and so I thought the only way I would get her would be setting up a few traps and seeing if she'd bite on one of them. So she went to bed, and when she's asleep, she's out, and so she was out at like 9 o'clock. She goes to bed early. So I stayed up, I had to write a paper, and then I went to Smith's at 12, and I originally went looking for the little pop rocks that people do at the 4th of July, and I was going to put some of them under the toilet seat so when you sit down it would pop, because she always gets up at like 4 in the morning to go work out. She's crazy, but I love it. But I couldn't find any of those, so I got little pistachio nuts and put them under the little cushion, and I tried it, and the crack it makes, and it like drops you down. It's really scary. Like, everyone should try it. It's a lot of fun, and it sounds like you break the toilet seat. So I put some of them under, and I put Kool-Aid in the shower head, like the obvious one. And she actually didn't fall for either of those, because I got her with this one. I got her with the one I'm about to tell you before, so she was on full alert. but I changed my name in her phone to an old crush that she had. And some people say it's risky, but I don't know. Like I didn't think it was risky at all, and it was more funny. And she woke up at like 1 a.m. and she checked her phone to see what time it was, and she saw these messages and missed calls from an old boyfriend. And she was like, oh no. And I woke up and I was like, what happened? And of course I knew what had happened. I'd said, hey, like this is so-and-so,
Yeah.
like I don't think Johnny's right for you, and I like you a lot, like what do you say, type of deal. And she read him and was like, oh no, like don't be mad, I had nothing to do with it. And I was just laughing. I said, oh, I'm gonna call him. I was like pretending to be mad. I was like, I'm gonna call him. And of course I like it. If people would like hit on Marissa, I'm like, great, like that's cool, like that's perfect for me. I mean, I think it's awesome. I mean, as long as they don't do anything, like it's a compliment for me. And so she was upset, and then I called the number, and of course my phone started ringing, and she knew it was me, so she was a little upset. I think I told her at the right moment, because I think she was about to cry.
Oh my gosh. But I heard someone got you back on April Fool's Day as well.
Yeah, so it was actually my wife. I found out it was. I thought it was at first, but then the longer that she kept it from me and didn't tell me, the more I started to question it. Yeah, she put it was the Justin Bieber concert on Saturday, and of course April Fool's was on Friday, and so people were looking for tickets, and so she got with some of her workmates, and they put my name up and my number on KSL, saying I was selling cheap Justin Bieber tickets. And I'm a fan of Justin Bieber, but the real fans of Justin Bieber are crazy. Like they would like murder people for tickets, and so my phone was blowing up. People were calling, people were texting. And so I eventually made one little thing to text back to everyone that would text. They would say, hey, do you have Justin Bieber tickets? And I would say, sorry, it was an April, I didn't say sorry, I said, it was an April Fool's prank, someone set me up. And then I said, is it too late now to say sorry? And so it was pretty funny. One, I think it must have been some fan girl, she wrote like 4 messages. She's like, please, we're desperate for tickets. And I was like, is it too late now to say sorry? And she's like, yes.
Oh no.
I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just respond with
Throwing in
Justin
all the
Bieber lyrics.
references.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks like
yeah.
she got you back pretty well then.
She got me back pretty well, yeah. So we called this one a draw. So we'll see what's in store next
for
year.
next year.
Uh-huh.
Alrighty, well, one last question. What is one thing about Johnny that people don't know that they might want to know?
Oh, I don't know. I think one thing about me is I love languages. Like I can't speak any other languages besides English. I like to fool people and say, oh, I can speak English and New Zealand and some Australian and American, but of course that only gets a few people. But I really like languages, so I've tried to teach myself Samoan and Tongan just because I love Polynesians. And right now I'm learning Spanish. So my wife and I have this little app on our phone, and we're learning like phrases like the dog drinks milk, stuff like that. And so don't put me on the spot. I'm still very fresh at it. But I love learning, and I think right now languages open up people's hearts if you can say just a few words in them. So I can say hello and how are you in a lot of languages, but I want to get a little bit more fluent in those languages so I can have basic conversations, because I love learning about people and where they come from, and I think if you know their language, if they're foreign, it really opens those doors.
Nice. Well, it looks like you got a lot in store for the future then.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see
yeah.
what happens.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much, Johnny. We appreciate you coming in
thank
today.
you.
Thank you.
No problem.